Hey everybody, this is Krista, and today we are working on a garden project. I'm sorry, I keep looking to the left because my pool filter is doing something really weird, so I'm going to have to get Steven to check that out. We have frost and freeze warnings coming up. I believe it's Tuesday morning, today is Sunday, so I have got to tackle some major garden. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go turn that thing off. I have got to tackle some major garden projects to prepare for the freeze. So we still have peppers in the garden that are kind of small, but they're bearing fruit and have a ton of blooms. So I've got to dig those up, put them in the bucket garden and move that into the greenhouse. And I still have potatoes and sweet potatoes, I think, in this jungle somewhere. I know there are snakes in here because I ran a baby copperhead out from under my greenhouse and into this mess. So I have on tall boots today, and I have the lawnmower, the push mower. I'm going to try to tackle the pathways that just got insane with weeds and then spread on to everything else, and see if I can't get to where the sweet potatoes and potatoes were, and then try to dig those out, get the peppers moved into the greenhouse, and pull any tomatoes that are still on the vines, even if they're green, and we'll do something with those. So I'm going to just kind of take you along with me as I do this work today and see if we can't get a lot of this taken care of and buttoned up before we have a freeze in 48 hours. So let's get to it. So I'm going to do a voiceover here because with me being outside and back and forth close and far away from the camera without the microphone, it just did not pick up well. So to make the audio a little bit smoother, I'm just going to do a voiceover so you're not having to like turn the TV up and down or your computer up and down. So I actually stopped mowing at this point and decided to dig around and see if I could find anything, because I was not seeing any signs of the potato plants. Now, remember back in the spring, we were having the summer, we were having a really bad issue with a groundhog, and the groundhog was in this area and coming into the raised bed garden under the fence and under the greenhouse. So I know the groundhog ate off all the sweet potatoes down to just the little stems. So I'm going to call it and consider this a garden fail. This area did great for me last year, but the weeds were struggling. So, or we struggled with the weeds, I should say. So I came back in this year and just mounded the compost. I paid for so much compost and wood chips, and we came in here a few times and tried to keep everything mowed down and weed eated and trimmed, and it was just, it's insane. Like, it's so bad over here that I'm feeling very defeated with this space, because this is my third year on this space and it is just not working with the no-till method. It's just not. So I'm going to have to rethink this. This is all the sweet potatoes I got. So that was not worth the money. And I spent a lot of money on potatoes for this area because they grew really well in this area last year. And I cannot find one potato. And I know part of it is the grass, but I watched them grow, and we had so few germinate. So we're going to rethink this area, this whole area. The weed pressure in this area is like nothing you've ever seen. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board on this and call it a fail for this year and work on saving my pepper plants, because that I know I can do rather than waste more time out here before the freeze. Here's some little garden treasure though. Do you see all that? volunteer tomatoes, which I'm going to harvest for my friend who has a worm farm, because he is needing fresh produce for his worms. So I'm going to give some to the chickens and give the rest to the worms. Well, I was going to put the bucket garden on the wall I'm standing against, but that's going to shade the lower half, because that would put this tall side facing the sun, so this would be shaded. And even though this is the hottest wall behind me, I don't think that's going to be the best. So I've got to move all this stuff back this way. I keep finding perfectly preserved butterflies in the greenhouse. I guess they get trapped in here and then they can't get out, which is kind of sad, but they're very pretty. So I was hoping to use these trays under here to catch water, but they are a little too much of the wrong size. So what I'll have to do is, for now, use some flat trays, seed trays. Move this back up for now. I actually have to go through these potatoes because it did not work very well hardening them off in here. You live, you learn. Can I just say, this is an amazing day to be in the greenhouse. It's cooling off, and I need another cushion. And it is so nice in here. And I do have a fan that I could turn on, and it would just be phenomenal. So some of these I think I can save, but I will have to do it pretty quick because they are not going to store at all. The ones I'm putting in the pink box down here, I have, like I said, I have a friend who has worms, and these will help feed the worm farm over the winter. So I think this, that's healed over, group right here was behind the greenhouse tent that you put over garden areas to protect them from frost, and so I think that provided a lot of shade. So I think this group right here is not nearly as bad as the ones that were in the two that were right up against the greenhouse glass. And some of it has to do with, you know, they weren't in good condition coming out of the ground. And by putting them in the high heat, it just exacerbated those issues. So while it is not fun losing some of the harvest, I may have lost some of it anyway had I tried to store some of these. And you know, that's the one thing about having animals and stuff, because we can feed these to the animals, even if it's just the worms, and get something back out of it. So there's another project done. So these are what I'm going to put under here to collect water for now. Okay, so now that we have the greenhouse set, it's nice and clean. Looks great. We're ready to get the peppers in here. So before I do the peppers, I'm actually going to clean this bed out really quick, just because I need some place to dump some of this old dirt from the buckets. It needs to be revitalized. So what I will do is, this bed is really low on dirt, so I will put it in here and add compost and chicken manure to it and let this bed sit for the winter and compost down. And that'll revitalize that soil and fill this bed win-win. Here we go. So now I'm going to take these buckets and pull out any weeds that are in them, because I don't want to add those to my garden. Which they are not very weedy, because where they were on the porch, the birds didn't mess with them or anything like that. So, and two, I didn't water them, and the soil is probably really deleted of nutrients. So there's only a couple weeds in a couple buckets, and I'm going to take this a good halfway down and then add soil and nutrients back to it. You are the absolutely nosiest bird on the planet. You know that. And this is why we love her. Yes. What you doing, Corella? You want in a bucket? Okay. It's her favorite place to be, is in a bucket. So I have my cart below me from the garden, and that way I don't have to keep making trips into the garden to empty the buckets into that bed. I'm just going to empty them into the cart and then make one trip with the cart to that bed. So I'm about halfway down the bucket. I have some tomato tone, and this is tomato and vegetable food. I would probably use the regular Biotone or the Garden Tone, but since I don't have it and I have this, I'm just going to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and put a good layer down in and mix it kind of around in this soil that's left over, because it'll take a bit for the roots to get to it. Alright, there's one. De-weed this one. Which Cruella's doing a great job pulling out weeds and stuff. Another one done. That was a tree going down. It was a big tree. I heard them out there with the chainsaws earlier, but they'd stopped for a while. So I'm assuming that's the one they wanted to come down, or else they took a break and it decided to come down. I spilled it. Alright. Ooh, I'm going to have to brush Dad's truck off. I'm going to add some tomato tones to this one. Alright. And then we're going to add some more dirt, and then we're going to go dig up pepper plants.
Caught a duck.
We need to change their water out in their pool. Pepper. So I know this is a habanada. And I have no idea what this one is. And then this one is a jalapeno. So we're going to take these two. Let's see what this one is. I think that's another habanada. That's a habanada. So this one's a banana. So we're going to take this one, that one. I know I have a pimento over there, so we'll take that one. And we'll take this one. It's a pepperoncini. So we'll start and hope I don't hurt their roots.
That would be bad.
All right. Looks like we've got some good roots on it, so let's go get this in a pot. All right. I have a little too much dirt, So I have to take some out. And I can always add some back in. Alright, little plant. I want you to get down in there. Oops, broke a leaf.
Uh-oh.
Get the grass out.
So which one's this?
This one's the habanada. It's basically a habanero that's not supposed to have any heat to it. Okay. So this is the tag. I wish I had a Sharpie I could write on the buckets. All right.
Alright, so we're out of tomato sticks and we need some more tomato sticks for the peppers. So I'm about to go look for sticks, but first I need to turn the water on. Alright, now let's go look for sticks. I don't see any sticks, do you? Mom, I think I found sticks. I think I found sticks. Sticks! I built a giant fort. Let's see. What sticks can I sacrifice from my fort to not make it fall over? And hook a pepper plant on this one. This might work. Ah. Just pinched myself. Okay. Not seeing any good ones that will loose from the fort, so I have these two. So these might do. What all the fall leaves turning color already? Turkeys. Alright, I'm back. Do these sticks look good?
Woo! Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have like a Y shape so you can hook plants on them.
Yeah, that's actually really awesome. There. And I've already got that tall one from up there. So anything in this bed that's peppers.
This one's pretty.
All right.
Grab the tag.
Here, I'll take the tag.
What's this?
It is I have no idea. Maybe a habanada, I'm not sure.
Do we have a habanada?
Yeah, we have one of everything at this point.
Oh, so it's just like
Yeah.
who we want to duplicate of.
Yeah.
I don't really eat peppers, so I I don't typically care.
Yeah, I don't eat a lot of peppers either, but I want to make things with these that we might eat. If it's not given, okay. Once it's up, don't use the shovel, just leave the shovel. There you go. No, take some of the dirt with it. Just put your hand under it. It smells cool, huh? Alright, here. Alright. I have gloves on, so.
There we go. Hi, turkey. What you doing?
Wow, these have some really healthy roots, buddy. Good job. Picking it.
Thanks. Tag that says nothing, but we're still putting it in.
Well, I can barely read it. We'll rewrite it. Alright. So I'm going to take this in. And then we're going to water them really good and let them soak. And then water them again. Let them drain and move them into the greenhouse tonight.
Yeah. I don't think they're fully grown.
No, these got planted really late, and they are just now starting to produce. They're still really little, so that's why I'm going to try to save them. I have never overwintered peppers, but we are going to try. At least until hopefully we get something off of them.
You watered that one already.
So the freeze is coming tonight. I lost the light yesterday while filming. I was working on Into the Dark, and we had to quit filming because it got really dark. And I had to stop. So the freeze is coming tonight, or first thing in the morning rather. So the last thing I need to harvest is the few green beans that I have, as well as the basil out of the garden. And then that's going to be all we're going to get. So let's get to doing that. Okay. So that's gonna do it for the green beans. Not much, but you know, add it to a saute. I may not have a ton of basil just because it all was going to bloom, but we're gonna go pick what we got. So this is all, well, that doesn't look bad. Okay, there it is. Now the temperature is supposed to be like 31 tonight, and chance of frost and freeze in the early morning. So this greenhouse is really warm still, and because it's completely covered with hard side, I'm not going to put a heater on. I think the protection will be enough, fingers crossed. So, and then I'm losing the light again. I almost forgot to close the window on the back door. That would have been good. Alright. So I'm not going to be able to get it on all of it. But I got it on some of it. And hopefully the rest will be okay. Alright. It's the best we can do for now. I have lost the light. I have the biggest celery and the chives covered. So let's go feed the animals and call it a day. Fingers crossed. Okay guys, I'm losing the light, as you can see. So I'm gonna go feed all the animals and get dinner done. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks for hanging out with me the past really 2 days as we prepared for our first frost of 2022. Bye guys.